first of all, congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I'll start with clearly the most important question. Are you both avid football fans? You know, do you have teams that you support as well?
No.
No.
I'm ashamed to say.
Yeah, no, but I really like watching football. I don't have a team that I follow, but if I would have to pick one, it would be Dortmund, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah.
Okay. And the story of Bert Trautmann, it's one of those where it's so remarkable that it can only be a true story. So I was just wondering, were you aware of this story before you joined the project?
No, I wasn't. I haven't been brought up with a football crazy family, so I hadn't sort of been introduced to him as a figure. But it's very interesting in the UK to see those who don't know him and then those who he's like their biggest icon hero ever. So yeah.
Yeah, and also in Germany, he's not that well known.
Okay.
I think it's also because he wasn't part of the national team at 54, where they won the World Cup. And I think, but of course, we hope that the film changes that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the film actually, it takes place at a really interesting time in history. It was sort of during a period where there's still a lot of anger, kind of grief and guilt, after the Second World War. And while in the film there are some very difficult moments, what sort of jumped out to me was just how funny the film is as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of just wondering, how important is that kind of balance between sort of heart and humour in the film?
So important, yeah. I think as well, being able to laugh at things can make them all the more poignant and important. I think it's a really strong way to tell a story and to deliver an important message, is actually to do it with humour and lightness, and that can actually bring home some really sort of much deeper, much more serious issues, but done with done with lightness.
Definitely, yeah.
Cool.
Also, I can
Yes.
also.
No, it's up to you.
But no, I think the director, he also he's in Germany. He's quite famous for his comedies as well, and he's very good at capturing a certain mentality. And this is also a film about someone who finds a new home in Manchester, and he tries to show Manchester at this very special time, and also this mentality. And so I thought it was great. It's co-production and a German director and a lot of great English actors, and I think this mixture of people that really got on very well. Yeah.
And those Wembley scenes, the scenes shot at the old Wembley, that's something special. And I was wondering how you guys sort of found that, seeing that, when I imagine when you were filming it, not much of that was there.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
There was nothing really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when
it
we
is
filmed it, yeah.
using the power of the imagination.
Yeah.
There are thousands of people here, not 20, thousands. It is. It's a challenge, I think, with those sorts of scenes. But that's when it's fascinating to be able to watch the final thing, and suddenly you're discovering all these people and all this amazing CGI. I think they've done a really pretty incredible job with that.
Yeah, it's really something. Yeah. And I have to ask, did you guys get to have a kickabout on set? When the cameras weren't filming?
Yeah,
Did you sort
of
have
course, all the
Yeah,
time. Yeah,
yeah.
there was always a ball lying around.
Yep.
And there was, of course, it was all the time. I mean, but more than that, I had to do it beforehand. I mean, 4 months before I started to do all my goalkeeping training, because I was never a goalkeeper before. I was just playing football in my youth. And so I had to learn all that from scratch.
Yeah. And so sort of from Skins to kind of French language films, and obviously English language films and German language films, you've both had sort of quite diverse careers already. So I was wondering if there were any kind of genres that you particularly would like to delve into in the future, or any kind of directors that you'd like to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I would love to work with more female directors, just because I'm fascinated. Also, some of my favourite directors are women like Jane Campion or Andrea Arnold, and I think it would be it's sort of, I've been working now for about 10 years nearly, and it is quite shocking how few directors I've worked with who have been female. So it'd be interesting as an actor to be able to sort of see more of a change within the industry in terms of
And as I understand it, you've got kind of quite an affinity to The Shining. Is that right? So maybe
Yes.
maybe horror something that
I love me some horror.
Yeah.
And it's very in vogue at the moment. Horror seems to be doing really well in terms of
Yeah,
as
that's
a
right.
genre, like with films like what was it called?
Hereditary?
Hereditary,
Yeah, really good.
or Us, you know, which is out at the moment, which is meant to be brilliant. So that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running around covered in blood. I could do that. I'd be into that.
Yeah, I think for me it would be very interesting to play in a series, to play a character for a very long time and to spend a long time with it and have just some more time to explore the character.
Yeah.
I think that's what I haven't done yet, and I would really like to try.
Yeah.
Great. And kind of sort of linked to that, I guess, what's next? What's next for you? What have you got on the pipeline?
So I have a French series that's coming out on Arte and then Netflix. So that will be out worldwide on Netflix in a few months' time, called Il était une seconde fois, which means once upon a second time, something in that ballpark, which is a sort of mad love story told within like a mystical backdrop involving time travel.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about you, David?
I'm about to start shooting the first German Netflix original, but it's not a series. It's a film production. We're starting next month, and so I can't really say what it's about.
Sworn to secrecy.
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, well, thank you both for your time.
Thank you so
again,
much.
and congratulations on the film.
Thank
Cheers,
you very
thanks
much.
so much.